Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Selenium interview questions. That is, how do you manage rerunning only the failed test cases in your test automation, that is Selenium test automation. This is possible with the help of TestNG, guys. Okay, in TestNG, we have some predefined interfaces known as IRetryAnalyzer and Annotation transformer. Okay, with the help of these two interfaces, it is possible for us to run or rerun only the failed test cases. Okay, in TestNG automation projects using Selenium and all those stuff. Okay, so let me practically demonstrate this for you so that it will be easy for you to understand. So what is mean by managing rerunning only the field test cases? You see, sometimes your automation tests, okay, may fail, but not really they are failing. They are failing because there is some, server problem, application server, there is some problem, temporary problem, okay? While the scripts are running, the application server, which is hosted somewhere else, is having some problem temporarily only. Okay. After that, it was working fine. When the script is running, there is a problem in the server because of which the script got failed. That is one reason. Or there may be some situations where poor network, okay, internet problem. Okay. The internet in your machine has been fluctuated while that particular script was running. Again, it got recovered and all. But the problem here is if you don't give the second chance and third chance for this, or any number of chances for this test to run, okay, we may not know whether these tests are really failing or not. But how to give the second chance or third or any number of chances for the failed test to run again so that to eliminate our doubts that they got really failed rather than failing because of there is some application server problem or network problem. For that, we have to rerun them. Okay, only the failed test cases we have to rerun. Passed test cases, there's no need of running again because they are already passed. But failed test cases, we have to run again to cross check, double cross check whether they are really failing or not. Okay, multiple times we can rerun. How many times depends on us. Okay, depends on the logic we are writing here. We can decide how many chances for the failed test to run again or rerun again is depending on our logic. So there are two interfaces here using which it is possible. IRetryAnalyzer and Annotation transformer in TestNG. So let me practically demonstrate them for you. So let's switch to Eclipse IDE where we have the sample TestNG project, which is already created. Okay. And in this project, we have one class. Only one class for sample is there. I'll just, otherwise let's have them. I'll just remove them. I'll just make it clean. Okay. There are some test methods. You can see there are multiple test methods. How many are there? 1, 2, and 3 test methods are there. 3 TestNG test methods are there. So let's fail one of the tests intentionally. Okay, let's fail one of the tests intentionally. For example, the first test, let it pass. Okay, the second test, let me fail it. Okay, what I will do is I will simply write down assert dot fail, assert dot fail from TestNG. Okay, so when this statement is executed, automatically their test will fail. Okay, this is intentionally we are failing. Intentionally failing this test. Okay. So what about the third test? It will pass. Okay. Third test will pass. First test will pass because there is no such thing like it is going to fail. Intentionally, I'm failing here just to showcase like if it is failed, you see, out of these 3 tests, only one test will fail. Only the failed test should rerun. Remaining passed test should not run multiple times. Okay. Multiple chances should be given for the failed test. Okay. So that there may be a chance where this failed test may pass. Okay. Because of network problems or application server problems, temporarily the test may fail in real time. But to give the failed test a chance, okay, we have to implement this IRetryAnalyzer and IAnnotation transformer things. First, we'll start with IRetryAnalyzer. Later, we'll go for the IAnnotation transformer. Okay. So what I will do here is I'll create one more package here. Package. I'll say listeners or whatever the name you want to give. Okay. Listeners or whatever the analyzers, listeners and analyzers. Like that, you can give anything. I'm just giving some random name. Under this, I'll create a class, user-defined class. My retry, our retry, any name you can give. Analyzer. Okay, this is user-defined class. You can give any name. But I'll make this class implements an predefined interface known as IRetryAnalyzer. IRetryAnalyzer. Okay, I'll make this class implement this IRetryAnalyzer. Hover the mouse on this and import it from TestNG library. Okay, once you implement them, there we have to override some methods from the IRetryAnalyzer. For that, what we can do is we can simply hover the mouse on this IRetryAnalyzer and say add unimplemented methods. So here we got one method, an overridden method. This method is coming from the IRetryAnalyzer predefined interface of TestNG. Clear this stuff. And now here write some logic. Okay, in this write some logic. So I'll do one thing. I'll write something like this: int count is equal to 0. Okay, how many times the test has run? That is count. And I'll say int. Okay, how many chances we have to give? Okay, how many chances you are willing to give? So I'll say retry limit. Okay, retry limit. How many times or chances? Retry chances or limit, whatever the name you want to give, you can give here. I'll just give 3 chances. If a particular test fails, okay, I'll give 3 chances for it to run and prove itself that it can pass or something. 3 chances I would like to give. Okay, now here I'll write the logic. If count is less than retry limit, okay, count is less than retry limit, that is less than 3, then I have to give a chance. Okay, then I have to give a chance. So for it to run. So here I'll be writing, I'll just increase the count plus, and then I'll say return true. When you say return true, okay, it has been run, something like that. Okay, when this particular limit is reached out, we'll come out of that, okay. So this again this retry will be called, and again the count will be 1, and kind of, if it is false means we have to return false. So retry thing will pass. Okay, will stop like that. Some logic is okay. This is the logic we have to implement. Okay, with the help of IRetryAnalyzer, this is the logic we have to implement. I'll copy this logic, or I'll do one thing. Just make it proper and copy this and paste it for you somewhere. And say code. Here I'll write the code. Okay, this is the code that I have implemented finally with the help of all this stuff. This is something we have to write. Okay. So now, once this logic is implemented, now go to the demo.java. You know that this particular test method is going to fail or may fail. So here, beside the iterate test annotation, I'll use one attribute known as retry analyzer is equal to. Okay. And I need to give the path of this class, that is listeners dot my retry analyzer. This is a user defined class dot class I have to mention. So we don't know which test method will, right? This test method may fail. This test method now it will pass, but it may fail in real time. This test method now it may pass, but it may fail in real time. We don't know. So it's better to provide retry analyzer for all the test methods, not just. We don't know, because which test will pass, which test will fail, we don't know. So better we write like this. We specify this retry analyzer and path of this my retry analyzer, where we have written some special code to give multiple chances for the failed test to run. Okay. So like this we'll do, and now run them. Run all. run all these test methods. Okay, let's see how they will run. Okay, there's a problem with the logic. Sample 2 is keeping on getting executed. Okay, because it's keeping on failing, so it's keeping on getting executed. So there is some problem with the logic. So I'll stop it. And you see, this one should be given some. You see, sample 1 got executed only one time, sample 3 got executed only one time, but sample 2, which is failing, is getting executed this many number of times. Okay, this many number of times. So it should be given only, and it's skipping. Actually, it's not failing. Actually, it's skipping. Somehow it's getting skipped. Okay, but it's not failing. Okay, so it will skip because it's given multiple chances. Okay, so fine. So how to overcome this problem? Let me see what logic problem I have made in this. In count is equal to 0, retry limit. If count is less than retry limit, count plus plus, then return true. I am saying count plus plus happened, but let's see what is the problem I have made. Okay, there is one problem I can see. These variables should be declared outside this method, guys. Okay, that is the only problem. Otherwise, it used to work. It has to work. It's not working because these variables are created inside this method. They should be outside this method. Okay, so that's the reason. So let's run. Click on run all. Let's say this time how many chances will be given for the failed test. Let's see. You see, here you can clearly go to this results tab and see for the passer test only one chance. Okay, because there is no need to run them again. They have run only one time because they are already passed. But for the test which is failing, sample 2 which got failed, before it got failed, it has been given 3 chances. Okay, first time it got failed. Instead of failing it, it got skipped. It has been given a chance and has run again. Again, it got failed. It got skipped and it has been given another chance and it has run again. Again, it got failed. So instead of failing it here, again, one more chance is given. Total 3 chances are given. Extra 3 chances are given. And finally, after last chance also, it got failed. So finally, it has been marked as failed. Only the test which got failed is given multiple chances to run. And it depends on how many chances depends on the logic we have written. Okay, this is the logic. I've corrected this logic where these variables need to be outside this method. Okay, I thought they should be inside, but they should be outside the method. Otherwise, the things are not working. Okay, fine. This is the logic. But you see, we will have in real time, we'll have a lot of test methods. And for every test method, do you have to manually go and write this retry analyzer or specify this retry analyzer for each and every test method? Is that a good idea? No, we don't know which test will pass, which test will fail. So anyhow, we have to mention this, but it's not a good idea to write it everywhere. So I'll remove it from here. From the individual test methods, I'll remove this line to specify to give the multiple chances to run them if there's a situation where these test methods will fail. So instead of specifying that attribute there, retry analyzer attribute there, what we can do is we can implement one thing, okay? That is create a new class and you can give any user defined name like my annotation transformer, okay? Annotation transformer, our annotation transformer, any name you can give this, okay? This is a user defined name. Click on finish and make this class implements a predefined interface known as IAnnotation transformer. Instead of specifying this retry_analyzer is equal to listeners.myListenerAnalyzer.class for every test method, we'll simply create this class and make it implement this IAnnotation transformer. IAnnotation transformer like this. Okay. Import this from TestNG library. And whatever the methods of this IAnnotation transformer are there, we have to override in this user defined class. For that, just click on the source, select override implement methods. And here, same transform method is there in IAnnotation transformer interface, but we'll take the last one, having the constructor method and all those stuff. Take the last one, click on OK. Whatever the code you're getting, just clear it out. Okay, now take this annotation and write like this. Annotation dot, okay, set RetryAnalyzer. Like this, you have to write annotation dot this annotation attribute, I mean parameter dot set RetryAnalyzer. Here we have to give the path of the my RetryAnalyzer. Instead of giving the path of this my RetryAnalyzer in each and every test method, just write this line and inside this write down the path listeners package name dot listners dot my RetryAnalyzer dot class. Like this, you have to mention. Instead of specifying this particular path, this thing in every test method, just mention this only in this method, predefined method of this annotation transform in this class. And now the next thing that you have to do is, after this, next thing that you have to do is create test.ng XML file in this project. Right click, test.ng, convert to test.ng, and this test.ng XML file is getting created directly under the project with this thing where demo class is mentioned and all those stuff. Click on finish. Once the test.ng.xml file is created, open that. In the test.ng XML file, write down, okay, the parameter thing, okay? Sorry, not parameter, sorry, listener thing, okay? Listener. I have to write something like this, okay? Implement the listeners here, okay? Add path in the listener tag. Listener class hyphen name is equal to, where are this, where is this, my annotation transformer, right? In my annotation transformer, we have written this line, okay? So we have to call this, okay? We have to give the path of this in the test.ng XML file so that this will be applied. This retry analyzer and this my retry analyzer will be called that can be applied for the test methods multiple times and given chance for multiple times for the failed test. Okay, for that we have to give the path of this my annotation transformer. So here I'll write down listners listeners dot, under the listeners we have my annotation transformer, okay, and don't make any spelling mistakes here. So there's a problem coming up. Listener class hyphen name listeners dot my annotation transformer. Okay, multiple annotations font. Okay, maybe this one is provided at a wrong place, maybe. Okay, there is a mistake where this listener tag should be part of listeners. Under the listeners, we have to write listners. Okay, in between the listeners tags, you have to mention this listener, okay, which contains a path to this my annotation transformer. Now, in order to run the test, you have to run this test.ng XML file, which will invoke this my annotation transformer. My annotation transformer will invoke my retry analyzer for each and every test method in this project, okay? You don't have to mention that retry analyzer attribute for each and every test method. Rather, if you implement this I annotation transformer thing with the help of transform method and set this for every test method, test.ng test method, that is done. But we have to run with the help of test.ng XML file because we have mentioned the listener and part to this my annotation transformer in this listener. Okay, now run this, right click, run as test.ng suite. Only the tests which are going to fail will be given multiple chances. Sample 1 got executed only one time, sample 3 got executed, but sample 2 were given 3 extra chances. What if I failed one more test? Let's say if I go here and I'll fail the first one, set dot fail. Even the first one also I'll fail. Okay, in this case, what will happen? These two test methods are failing. So this will be given extra 3 chances. This will be given extra 3 chances for running, whereas the last one will pass, will not be given. Okay, that this is to prove that for every test method by default, okay, retry analyzer is applied because of this I annotation transformer. Okay, let's see that this time 2 test methods should be given multiple chances because they are going to fail. Intentionally, I was failing. Okay, I'm failing. Just go and see the results here. You see, only sample 3 got run one time only, but sample 1 got executed how many times? 4 times because 3 extra chances. Okay, even though it got failed, 3 extra chances were given before it finally fails. Whereas sample 2 also before failing were given extra 3 chances. but sample 3 only one time. Okay, that means that IRetryAnalyzer, okay, is applied multiple times. I mean, throughout the project. Okay, throughout the project, it is applied for every test method, even though for every test method you have not mentioned retry is equal to listeners dot my retry dot class. You have not mentioned here. Rather, with the help of this my annotation transformer, you just wrote one line, few just this method here, and in test.ng XML file you mentioned that in the listeners path, and then run it. That's it. Okay, in real time project, this is how we implement or manage to rerun only the failed tests multiple times. So hope guys you got the answer for this question. And here I'll write the code. Okay, I'll just mention the code for that this thing also, my annotation transformer also. Okay, copy this code and so that you can refer. And after this, one more thing is there is a listener tag, right? Listener tag, test.ng XML. In test.ng XML, you just mention this, okay? In test.ng XML, you have to mention something like this, okay? I'll just mention this thing. Just provide this test.ng XML file for you, content for you, so that you can imagine. Okay, here listeners you have to add. Fine, guys. Okay, so with practical demonstration, I have answered this question for you: how to manage rerunning only the failed tests in test.ng Selenium automation projects. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.